raise this? I know I'm touching a lot of things. This has got to be very upsetting. That's okay. But I feel like I'm...
Hey, we're shooting at Jen's house today. Does anybody need some cool, sparkly dominoes for no reason? Here's a bowl of them. They look like candy. I've almost ate them twice. Hey, if only I had a weird sculpture of...
It's selenite.
Selenite. Then I'd feel... Does anybody have a tongue depressor? Okay, cool. I've got a bag of them here.
They're for crafting, Kristin.
Does anybody have a miniature fairy godmother or a weird hashtag sign?
Anybody have a friend who's nice? Anybody have a caring, supportive friend at all? I want a hair tie because I'm so hot right now.
Do you want a tongue depressor or a...
No, Kristin's making fun of everything on my desk.
Do you need a seam ripper? Because I found one on your desk. Sorry, I'm just going to put that over.
I was looking for that.
I'm sorry, it's a blade for crafting. I don't know where... gosh, if only I had a weird bag of... Who knows what's in there? Is it crystals?
It's essential oils.
Oh, God. This is your problem. None of this is essential.
That's my problem. Well,
you know what I have on my desk? I've got a tape measure. I've got a bunch of yellow pads, and I have a bowl of hair ties. There you go.
Boom, hair tie, okay?
You got it.
All right, so...
Here, do you need a brush? I just found it on your desk.
There's
your wet brush.
My daughter's brush.
Yep.
And you'll notice it's got a C on the back of it because it was on sale at TJ Maxx, and I didn't...
You know what? I think if I'm going to brag about myself, I'm going to go... A walkaway gift I did for birthday.
Genius.
Was I bought those wet brushes for like $1 somewhere. And
really?
Then I got,
they were
they were on sale and I got they were a bundle. So I got a bunch of them and wet brushes, we lose them all the time, but they're so great after the pool.
Yeah.
And then I put each kid's initial on it and I gave it to the boys too.
It was so awesome. Cute. My kids both have one. They're going to probably have them till they go to college if they're anything like my family of origin. Because I still have this goody hairbrush.
We lose a brush. I'm so frustrated with how much stuff we lose, but let's not get me in a bad mood. Are you here listening to our podcast? Because then you've joined the hashtag IMOMSOHARD podcast, and we're so happy you're here.
You'll notice you can listen to us wherever podcasts are listened to. I was going to say where hashtags are listened to, but that would be right here. We're probably the only one.
We do have a weird name, but we didn't. Yeah. You know what? You kind of can't go back. Sometimes I wonder if people out there name their kid a name and they're like, I don't like it now.
Well, I'll tell you, we never expected anybody to listen. So we
we didn't know that going in.
Easier.
Yeah, we didn't know that going in. It would have just been this is the Hello podcast.
Yeah. We would have called ourselves the Beautiful Mom.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you get a lot from our name, which is clearly they're models, they're hard bodies, they're into fitness. Yeah. Very positive.
Drive minivans.
Very sexy accents. Mm-hmm. You know, they bring it. And you're right. This is a podcast, so you should be able to imagine us in that form.
And I'm having a beer right now.
She's having a beer. I'm not having a beer.
I can't believe I'm having a beer, actually.
It's delicious.
It really
beer
is
delicious.
Summer when it's hot. Okay.
It's my favorite.
So we're almost, by the time you hear this, we will be past the 4th of July. But we're having this 4th of July party, and when you're going to have people over at your house,
you start
all vaccinated, of course.
You got to get into that mic.
Sorry.
I'm afraid you're going to be far away and I'm going to be loud. And guess what? We get DMs about it.
Really?
Yeah. Kristin's too loud. Jen's too quiet.
You know what? That's just part of our flavor.
Oops, that's my boobs hitting the... We're at Jen's house today, if we didn't already mention, because I made fun of her desk.
It was Kristin's boobs hitting the mic.
If my cleavage just moved the mic, you're welcome, gentlemen that are listening.
Yep.
They're real sweaty.
You know somebody could tell. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, that one hit her boob. Well, my left one's bigger than my right, so don't worry about it.
One's boing, and the other one goes floop.
So you're going to have a party on 4th of July. I'm really happy about that because I don't want to deal with...
But then I notice that all of the painting in my house needs retouched. Everything
Are you going to retouch the painting before people come over?
I do all the time.
That's more than I do. I barely taking a magic eraser to booger walls.
But you know what? I just have the stuff in the garage where it's really easy to get. And then I do it every couple months. That's
smart.
Most of our walls, the ones that get dirtiest, kitchen, they're just white. And I just...
That's smart.
Go over them. So there's just a couple things that I've been too lazy during the pandemic to do, but now I'm shamed into getting stuff decent.
Nothing gets you to do more to your house than if you know people are coming over.
So this will make you crazy. It makes me crazy. And I think we think very similarly.
Oh, God.
When did I redo my kitchen?
Oh, man. Not very long ago. Very long ago.
So there is
it was a whole thing.
It was, we camped out in the living room for like, oh my gosh. So we bought this house.
Yeah.
Let me give you the punchline to this part, and then I can tell everybody the whole story. But one of my favorite things about my kitchen are these walnut floors.
Yeah.
And we didn't buy the nicest walnut because it's super expensive. We bought the second grade of walnut because it has more like knots and differences in
imperfections
color
that start to look really cool and textured.
Yeah. And you don't refinish it. You oil it.
Yeah.
And so now I know why it's second quality. One of the knots, this big, broke apart. You guys, it's the size of a silver dollar. Broke apart out of course, the very middle of the floor where you have to rip it out and like totally redo. It's in a chevron pattern.
Nightmare.
It's huge and it is deep too. It's like 2 inches deep.
What a weird thing to have happen that you would never. By the way, it's just such the truth of any time you do a renovation. You are so foolhardy to think it's done and you don't have to think about it.
I don't have to do anything for 30 years now.
Oh God, what's the expression where they say the first scratch is the hardest? Like the first whatever
cut is the deepest.
First cut is the deepest. Like you see like a scratch on there or the paint peel or like, and you're like, what do you mean this isn't a lifetime? Like we just spent a year living in our living room. This thing should work out better.
I think most people will have a lot of swear words to say about their contractor. I mean, I'm not that kind of person, and I absolutely do.
But if you are a contractor that's available, that's not charging 300% more than markup, please call me.
How about if you're a contractor that does the paint that you want on somebody's cabinets? I wanted like a black charcoal cabinet, and as soon as they got them done, he goes, "Now you can't use cleaner on these." And I'm like,
they're cabinets.
It's a motherfucking kitchen. What do you mean I can't use cleaner on them?
What does he mean?
It peels the paint.
But what does he want you to use on that? Like just let the grime and grit build up?
You're just supposed to
and then
use
you have
water.
Copper colored?
I don't know. Vinegar? I don't know. If somebody knows,
cleaning.
Please, if somebody knows, help me out. But also wherever steam can rise, like, you know, we have a hidden dishwasher, you know, with the finish on the front of it. The black paint is white at the top of it. You guys, it hasn't even been 2 years. And then by the microwave, it's like a built-in microwave. The black paint is white. I am losing my mind because I do so much
dollar bills. You're thinking to yourself, how hard did we work? How long did we save? We've got this renovation. It's like, it's such a weird thing. I mean, we did a small kitchen in our first house. We did a lot of renovations ourselves in our condo.
Yeah.
Here's what we did.
You guys hired Kristen's husband. He really made their bathroom like he's one of those like floor to ceiling tile walls.
First of all, I would like to tell you there are mistakes in that bathroom. There were literal calculated mistakes on his part that I'm still upset about that I've brought up in counseling.
Kristen, you're not the first to tell me that because Kristen of 10 years ago also told me that.
I go, who does this? Who thinks of only themselves when they're in the shower? Why would you put the height of this window only for yourself to open? Nobody else is 6'4". Like, why would you raise the? Oh,
so
God.
You don't flash your boobs.
You know what? No, Jen, here's what I love. I love a good standard measurement. I like to Google something and go, what's the standard measurement for a door? I'm going to stick to that because I'm safe in those zones. Not my husband. He's like, willy-nilly, let's put this faucet up 14 inches higher than I go, that looks so weird.
Yeah, because
like,
then
it's unsettling.
Also, your body knows the height it should be.
Yes.
And
you've spent too much time in hotel rooms and too many times at other people's houses. You know exactly the measurement that the faucet should be or the whatever in a tub. And when it's off, it's unsettling and it screws up your day. I had bad days because of a faucet.
Yeah, that's like
champagne problems.
I mean, if you go into an elementary school to a water fountain or one of those bathrooms,
God, you got to bend over. You're like, I don't know how to do
gravity
that.
different here?
Yeah, you're like in a full squat.
Yeah, it's like Wacky World. Yeah, you want some things to feel predictable.
Yeah, and that's where this is why we both agreed.
He goes rogue.
That it would be better to have a professional and he does some of the nice things that he can do that he's good at that don't require measurements.
Well, he's good at, he's a handy guy.
He's handy.
He's
good in a pinch for sure.
My husband is Well, actually, he'll Google anything. Like, he'll look at a video on YouTube and like
he
figure
can
out how to
figure
do
it out.
it.
But you guys, I remember you called us and you were very pregnant.
And I was like, I need this crib put together in about 8 hours.
We came over and I go, this crib is not even out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
We need to. So we just brought over a couple 6-packs.
He didn't
Was
have the
I
tools.
pregnant? No, this is when, wait.
Yeah,
no,
you
this
were
was Delilah. No, this is when Dashel.
Yeah.
Wait.
You were pregnant with Eleanor.
Is that right?
Yeah, because you got tired at like 9:30
And laid on the couch.
You went home, I think, and then and then Colin stayed and drank beer with my husband.
Yeah, but they did get that you shouldn't have trusted that crib. I was like, they're 6-pack in. This is
the only reason I know. I made sure I jiggled everything before I put a baby in there. But
they're light. They can't really. It's not like me sitting on that balsa wood thing. It's just like a baby, but it's fine.
It was an IKEA crib.
They're also very
anyway,
flexible.
So, yeah. So, but the only reason I remember that night so specifically is because that's when Dash like turned in my stomach, like did a complete like 360 or something.
And you're like, oh, that feels
I was like
bizarre.
I think this. Can you explode when you're pregnant? Because
Yeah,
that's
you
what
can,
I thought was
and
gonna happen.
it happens in your butt and your vagina. I do remember when we did our kitchen in our first house, I really didn't have a lot of experience and I didn't really have a lot of wherewithal. I just was like, I just want kind of what everybody else wants. And it was really for us where we just had bought our very first family home in LA, which is so much money. And we luckily my mother-in-law helped us a little bit with the price of the kitchen, which really came out to like very little comparatively. And I just remember being like so scared. And then when the job was said and done and the kitchen looked great, I remember the paint started to peel and I felt so personally wronged.
Because you see
And I was
every
like-
dollar sign.
And I was so like, it was such a big deal for us. This is a Galley kitchen that was 15 feet long. It was not that, but it would change my life. I was like, renovations are so hard.
Can we talk about your Galley kitchen for a little bit?
Yeah.
In your old house?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember this.
The beginning of the kitchen, which was a big dungeon of grubbiness.
Well, Kristin really hated this kitchen. And it was was it like 70s sort of?
It was
like
not
dark
only
wood.
that, it was literally dilapidated. Like we bought a house that most people would be like, is that safe for, and we're like, hey man, it's LA prices. It's all we can get. It's all we can afford.
You're not supposed to highly lacquer anything in the kitchen.
This
so
thing was
it feels
dark.
Yeah.
Literally, it looked like you were going in and you were watching the movie Seven.
It was a little like a Long John Silver's, which is what I liked about it. So the things that most people hate in a house and they're like, rip it out. I'm like, more of that, please. Because I really thought you could have done like a Spanish kind of thing in there.
What in the hell are you talking about? It was 1970s, like gross linoleum.
It had really beautiful Mexican tile in it, that like blue and stuff.
No, I'm so sorry. I thought we kept that. Are you kidding? That was in the condo. This is Welby Way when we redid the kitchen. I think I'm jumping ahead. Let me rewind. Okay. When we moved into our condo, which was our first place we ever bought, we did our renovations ourselves.
Yeah.
And we moved in on Memorial Day weekend. And this is a condominium, so there's other people that live right next door to you. They're above us and next to us.
Share a wall.
And we moved in, and Colin was like, we have to work over the weekend. And people were mad. They were like, hey, this is a weekend. This is a Memorial Day weekend. You guys are being really loud and making a lot of noise. And my husband, we did not make any friends in our first weekend, which is a terrible idea. So then my husband's way of dealing with that was to keep working. And then we cracked through a water main and everybody's water turned off because of us for 2 full days.
Well,
2 full days. That's how we moved into our first place. That's how we moved into.
Sounds like they had some infrastructure problems.
They had some infrastructure problems. Mostly the infrastructure was they didn't like us. So we moved out very quickly after because we had 2 babies really fast and the condo was really small. And then we moved to our house where we redid the kitchen. And that was the one where it looked like the movie Seven. But we couldn't do that one on our own. That was our first real renovation. And
Okay, then refresh my memory. It had like quarry tile or mixed
you
tile,
really liked
right?
it. It was very
Okay.
cool. It was like the condo had very cool like Spanish tile with like blue inside of it. And it was really precious. I loved
thought you
it.
could do like a mint green paint on those cabinets or something.
Oh
and
man, we
really
sold it
like,
and bailed.
Yeah.
We sold it because I didn't like the neighbors.
Did you just hear my husband cough?
I
Two
did.
rooms over. All
Two
right.
rooms over. But that's okay because we're all doing our best.
Yeah. So maybe he can hear me say that he's not like a kind of like handy guy. But
DIYs are a tricky thing.
well, so here's what we did was we bought a house that was a teardown for Los Angeles. It had already been approved to have it like leveled, and then this
Man,
like
somebody's tear down is our treasure. That's
That
what we
is-
both did. I was like, you're going to tear down this house? I'm going to pay 15 times what it's worth, and I'm going to move in, and it's going to be my castle.
exactly. So we got this house, and part of the reason that the people sold it to us for less than the contractor bid on the house was that they didn't want it to get torn down because
It's such a beautiful home.
thanks. It was built in like the 50s.
Yep.
And there was this contractor in Southern California that was really smart, in my opinion, and made all these ranch style homes so that they weren't hard to keep cool.
Yeah.
Used trees wherever he could to keep them cool. And then
Smart.
made every door on the back of it. Like every room has a door to the backyard because your backyard is your fourth room. It's like your living room.
We're outside all the time in
Yeah.
Southern California. See, that's amazing because I think whoever built my house was the dumbest person that's ever walked planet Earth. I'm like, originally, this house, you open the door and the door hit the stairs. That was how the house was built. That's not because, over time, we added this amount of space. No. The person literally was like, oh, shit, I mismeasured. Fuck it, put the door on anyway. That's how they did my house.
Well, there are like Kristen's house is like one of the oldest houses in our neighborhood, which is a really great thing about it.
I guess. I don't know. New builds are real sexy in my opinion.
No, I know, but also it's like it's got all this like old world charm to it. Like
When people say old world charm, it's just a nice way of saying old. It's fine. It's
Well-
not like Nebraska old, which I think is the coolest kind of house. Those old craftsmen.
but in Southern California where we live now, both of us are used to having come from the Midwest, like old houses. Like I grew up in a house that was built
Totally.
in
That's the
1923.
only houses
you
I
know?
grew up in.
Yeah, you love them. There's charm. There's an efficient use of space.
Beautiful woodwork.
Yeah.
Beautiful, like, I just think those houses are the best.
They don't have square footage. They have spaces that are usable.
Yeah,
They're-
under the stairs space.
Totally. They're smart. You move to Southern California, which I think just is a city that popped up in the 40s or something.
They're like, just build it.
It's square. It's just it's a rectangle. Like every house kind of looks the same. So when we got this house, we were like, no, we love all the charm. We like the exposed beams.
Yeah.
We like that it's outside. We're outside all the time. We just leave
your
the doors
yard's
open.
amazing.
Nobody wears shoes. It's like
Yeah.
we're in and out of there all of the time. However, the kitchen was a postage stamp.
Yeah, it was super small. So small.
It was so small. And I'm going to assuming that many of you listening are parents, I know that is not the case, but I'm going to describe to you what is a parent's nightmare in our kitchen when we first moved in. So we bought the house knowing we would have to fix this kitchen. There were 2 doorways into it. When you walked around the main doorway, like around a corner, the first thing that you came to was a 1960s pull-out stove top.
Oh, no.
So it wasn't back by the cabinets. It literally was like
So you're just looking at stitches.
That's
Oh,
it.
it's
Exactly.
it.
That's what I said.
You got 8
I'm
stitches
gonna
on a eyebrow.
boil
right there.
water every single time. Can you imagine
See,
you're cooking
nightmare.
like
You would never sleep.
nobody. Like I cannot believe that somebody had kids in this house with that. Like you would have had to lock that door. I would have put like a shelf in front of it so
Right.
nobody came through there.
Did you meet the family and all of them have these weird scars right above their forehead?
Yeah, it was
There's
really
like
no,
8 of them. They're
they-
like, oh, mom was making a strudel.
Well, the second couple, they were like in their 90s.
Did he have stitches? He's like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Major crotch burns.
It's my house, and I've got so many scars on my crotch from.
I will tell you something funny about that guy. So we were like, that is pure danger. We're getting rid of that kitchen. So we like took out a wall and lifted the ceiling because everybody, for some reason, they thought instead of building cabinets like all the way up to the ceiling or like having shelves, it would just be good to put like a fake wall up. So we took all of that stuff out.
Yeah, and then you got busy doing your design.
Then we got it like how we wanted it.
Yeah.
Love it. But we had to take out that stove, and that was the inspiration for and we needed more room. Totally
Yeah,
needed
tear down
more
that
room.
wall.
Yeah,
it's so
all of
fun
it.
when people do stuff like that. Like you look at the house and you're like, it's like I'm always really fascinated by people that look at a floor plan and they're like, oh, we can move walls. So we can. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can?
Our contractor, we really had to
You guys
fight him tooth and nail. And he
man.
was like, this can't be done. I'm like, yeah, it can be done.
What did he say about you? That you were bossy or something?
Oh, you name it. We
He's
said,
like, Bert, your wife is
my
very
husband's name is
bossy."
Britt, and he kept calling him Bert.
Which makes me laugh.
He was like, I will take thousands of dollars from you, but never learn your name.
Yeah,
Which I feel like
but-
Con Man 101 is like,
Yeah.
learn to say that name.
It's always a nice little nut punch to be like, I'm going to write the checks and then you're going to call me Christina.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Or Colin is Colleen,
I'm
which
going to
is
sign
makes
that
me.
check, Christina, too.
Yeah.
See how that works for you.
Yeah, go to the bank with that. They'll probably cash it because they won't look at the A at the end.
I know. But he would say to my husband stuff like, but I get it. Your wife she asks so much from you. She demands so much. I get it. You're older. She's short, and you look at your shirt. It's so dirty. Like just insult
man.
after insult. And Brett just took it because he was like, if you pity me, maybe you won't charge me.
Yeah, whatever I can get to get a discount. Then there's me. Here's me when we were doing our first tiny renovation, and we had the smallest budget. And I was so grateful to have some help from our mother-in-law that I was like, I will watch every single dime as it is spent. So literally every time the contractors I walked in, I was like, hey, is that going to cost money? How much is that? How much is that? Are you going to, is there an additional cost? They would just tell me like, hey, we're going to go ahead and install the breakers of the thing. And hey, is it cool that we put it here? I'm like, yeah, but is that going to cost more? They were like, you were not even asking relevant like questions about money. Like we are not going to charge you more just because we're eating McDonald's on the curb. Like
You know
it
what?
doesn't
But
make
it
any
is gonna
sense.
cost more. They give you the bid and they don't tell you like, oh, that doesn't include like your flooring, your countertops,
Yeah.
like the stuff I think of. I'm
Yeah.
like, obviously, the cost of plumbing is included in whatever
it's the
you have to
flourish
do.
at the end. And you just have to be fine with renovations are very stressful because I do believe it's very hard to budget for them because they're always like 20 to 30% over. You always open a wall and find a disaster.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I don't know if I've ever met anybody that was like, we did a major renovation. It was so easy. It was easy. Beginning to end. It's like there's always little things, and that just comes with the territory. And you better hope A, you have enough dough, B, you have a strong marriage,
Yes.
C, you don't have a weak stomach, because that's how you're gonna be. Like you're gonna probably start drinking if you don't start drinking if you're not supposed to, you know.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
don't do a renovation if you're not supposed to drink, because
It will lead you.
it will lead
to-
you back
yeah.
into.
Or maybe just like get yourself into a program.
Get yourself into a program now,
just to
then start the
circumvent. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would just start back in again. I'd be like, you know what? This isn't working out for me. I'm gonna.
It's so stressful. Like every day that you wake up, like I would wake up some days to my husband like having an argument in the backyard with
Yeah,
somebody.
because
that
you
was
guys
on-
were living in the middle of your house, like in a weird tent where there was plastic everywhere, and there would be workers around you guys.
All
like
the
it was,
time.
man. There's nothing that makes people work faster though than if it's an uncomfortable situation. So you walking through with your like
The short, angry woman.
with your towel on
But
and
she
your
keep-
butt. Your
follow
wife
me
walks
around.
through.
She scream at all my workers.
Her hands are always on her hips, Bert.
I mean, we have never been so tense in our home as when we were renovating.
very
'Cause
hard.
You would wake up and be like, oh, we didn't realize that we have to dig like a 3-foot trench into your kitchen to cap a gas line or something.
Yeah, the kids are like jumping over the trench. You're like, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great.
My kids literally survived on Eggo waffles and Chili's
I
the
will
entire
say-
time we were renovating.
To that point, my husband, here's the thing I love and have also been beyond frustrated with my husband is that if you say that you want something done, he will do it so fast that you are never allowed to just have an like.
Don't think out
Don't
loud
think
around
out loud.
Colin.
Don't
He'll-
ever be like, I wonder what that fence would look like black. He'll paint it with give you no chance to like actually think it through. So I've learned to say things to my husband like, I'm going to say this thing out loud, but that doesn't mean I want it to happen. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
a good
talking out
caveat
loud.
for him.
I'm
Yeah.
just talking out loud that I would like to have spend a little time picking this out
Picking, yeah.
or thinking this through. Don't go to Costco and buy shit and like, just because there is a chair at Costco does not mean it is the right chair for me. I get it. You're being helpful, but you're also being frustrated and like very, very, what do you call it? Like fast, like impulsive.
Impulsive. Yeah.
And he does it just to make me happy, and I'm an asshole. I'm the first to it. But here's the one thing I have figured out, that in home renovation, you can live out of a microwave kind of all the time. It taught me, because my husband got, guys, we said, you know what? We should redo our kitchen. His mom was like, I'll help you financially. I was like, this sounds great. Guys were literally busting through the walls the next morning. I was like, why did this happen so fast? I hadn't even had time to take stuff out of the refrigerator. So we were living out of our bedroom. And that was the exact same time that Colin's brother decided to visit with his wife and 2 kids, who are the loveliest people. But like, I was like, hey, do you guys want to have some microwave lasagna in the master?
You know, some of that's really good, though.
It's
I like
so
that.
good. It was Trader Joe's. It
so
got
good,
us through.
you guys. Yeah.
We had a cooler with ice. We were literally looked like we were part of the circus. And we were like, and you know me, I love to camp. So that wasn't terrible. I was just unprepared because it was so fast.
Well, it's not even the preparing food that's hard. It's the plates and having to wash them in a bathroom sink or a tub. Yeah.
It's the most disgusting. You're like, hey, kids, once you're out of the bath, I'm going to go ahead and do some dishes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drain the water. It seems.
Yeah.
Or you go the reverse.
I'm just going to put some macaroni in there anyways.
Yeah, I'm going to make some, I'm going to go ahead and clean the plates, and then I'm going to put you in the bath.
You know what we should have done, but like fools, we didn't. We should have gotten a toaster oven. Oh,
we didn't have air fryers then. They weren't invented.
I had no idea. Like, I said to my husband after we were done, I'm like, I think we would have saved $700 to $800 on Chili's restaurants if we had just spent $100.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda, man. If there isn't anything that home renovations teach you, it's that you're gonna like fourth quarterback in your car. Like, I should have done that. Why did I do it like that? They're just meant to make you feel like kind of always second guessing yourself. Totally. This is why we've been talking about a renovation for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I get cold feet and I'm like, can we live in the house we're in and sort of find a happiness? And what that means is the house already needed a renovation and now it's falling apart. So much so that we had to get rid of our 100-year-old oven.
I loved her.
Oh, you know what? We've had our time together. I wanted a fancy new model. I was like a guy dating his secretary. I'm like, I want a new model. I want the newest, fanciest, air fryingest thing that doesn't fit in the space and shows that the wall is falling apart behind it. Here's how I know our house is old and not well thought out and needs help. There's no vent above the oven. You know that's dumb. You know that's dumb.
Yeah, you need one.
Because let me tell you what happens when you use the air fryer. Your whole house gets smoky. Yeah. I've now become so good at using an oven that should not be in our house that I preempt it by turning on 4 fans and I waft a folder in front of the fire alarm. That's what I do when I air fry, you guys.
Yeah.
It's awful. We need to like fix stuff.
I mean, you always will, though. I think that was what I was going to say about ours is like.
Yeah, you kind of always will.
There's always something that needs done. So we had this beautiful sink put in our kitchen.
Beautiful.
And when they installed it, the plumber screwed the drain too tight and cracked it. Well, let me tell you this. You can't take it out with either ruining A, the cabinets, or B, the marble countertops. Yes. So one of those you have to let go. And we can't afford to do either. Like we just spent the boat on the whole kitchen already. We can't do it.
And kitchens are so expensive.
But they're so expensive. The company sent us a new sink, which was nice. Didn't charge us for it.
You have a new sink?
Yeah.
Where is it?
I told you. I'll give you a really good deal on it.
Really? Is it farmhouse sink?
Yeah. Apron sink? Yeah. It's gorgeous. You just got to make sure
you have a new sink here right now.
I can have a garage sale that like contractors would go nuts over because I have lamps or ceiling lights I bought that didn't work.
Jen, I need all of those things. I need a ceiling light.
I don't know if you're going to like this one though. I bought it for a pantry. It's that, and then I've also got, oh gosh, Kristin, there's so much. I got a lot of tile.
Jen could come over and literally redo my house. If I don't have to think about it, that's what I'm telling you. Turnkey's wonderful. I'll never have that experience in my life because it's so freaking expensive. And also, here's the truth. I don't want to do it. I don't care enough. I don't want to do plans again. We've just done that. And I'm like, I get into it for like 15 minutes. Then I'm like, I don't care. I want just to have somebody else do it.
Well, it's easier for me because I don't think a lot about those kinds of choices. I sort of feel like, oh, if I get the one I don't want, maybe it's a happy accident. Maybe we'll work
I'm
with
the
that.
opposite.
Well, Kristin, I know, has been thinking about for 2 years, 3 years, 3 years, I think, 2 different things. One was getting bangs, and one was redoing her kitchen, living room, her house. She just got bangs.
Yeah, so let's give another 2 years.
Please,
well, first of all,
I think
I'm
we
not
should
paying
push
these
it back
prices
a
right
little
now.
bit. Yeah.
I'm not paying
Everything's
these prices.
everybody's renovating right now, so everything's through the roof price-wise.
This is going to be the most boring part of this podcast, but I refuse to pay $8 for a 2x4 over my dead body. I will waft a folder in front of the fire alarm for the next 2 years. I will air fry and smoke before I pay $8 for a 2x4. Let that be known. So if anybody out there has discount lumber, if anybody would like to redo my house at a discount, I'll socially media hashtag you because I love free shit.
It's all got to be killed and fired.
Hey,
it's
Property
got to
Brothers,
be right.
take a swing at it. That's why we're not seeing any home renovation shows. They're like, our budget is quadrupled. This is dumb. Everybody needs to get an Airstream.
Although I do think all they're doing is like paying the labor, right? Because the people who own the house pay for the products, and then they pay labor and the
depends. It depends. This is the part I was like soft focused. I'm like, this is why we got a putting green put in our backyard, because I was like, I'm going to enjoy the backyard, maybe not the inside. And enjoying the outdoors makes me enjoy the indoors a little bit more.
It's true.
It buys me time.
I've really romanticized home renovation shows. Like, I really think that it's like winning the Showcase Showdown.
I can't
like winning
tell
the two.
Somebody going, hey, we're going to have you guys go on vacation for 7 days and we'll come back and it's like, oh, but I know that's not how it is. I know that's not real life. And you can't trust a renovation that only takes that long.
Kristin's returned a coffee table that she's had for a year because she's like, you know what? Truth be known, it wasn't everything I thought it would be. It wasn't.
If you pay a lot of money for something and that sucker does not withstand the test of time, let us remember back to a time when we did not buy for obsolescence. We bought for things to withstand. We now are in a what do you call it? Like a disposable world. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to buy something that should last and then it not last. I'm going to take it back and I'm going to really have a fun conversation with people that work there. I'm an asshole. Thank you.
She really scrutinizes was my point. Like, she's really going to like make sure it's the thing that she wants.
That's right, because I bought a really expensive coffee table that goes to our living room, and I was like, I know how this is going to play out. Kids are going to put their like feet on it, and I'm going to get mad at them, but they are going to put their feet on it for a second, so it's got to be able to handle like the edge of a tennis shoe for years.
It will not. Like, your husband will put his feet on it.
I know, and I get mad at him, and he's like, we're not going to be here for very long. I'm like, take your damn shoes off. And then the kids are going to put plates on it. Kids are going to like throw their remotes in their place. I'm like, this is not a bougie table. This is a practical table that I want to look at.
Yeah.
That's how I shop. For everything in my life. Literally, I think I'm the only person that like gets on a ladder when I try jeans. I'm like, is this going to withstand my life?
Yep. How can this is why I'm the opposite. My husband told me, hey, my dad wants to ship this giant bellows from a factory. It's an antique, a bellows that
I don't know what that is. Oh, awesome. Were you excited?
I'm super excited. It's huge. It's like the size of a piano, but we're going to use it as a coffee table in our living room now.
How weird.
But I'm like, yeah, I think let's see. I don't know. And we'll have it forever because I'm.
You know me, though. I would keep something like that because I don't have anything. Like, you gave me that beautiful piano table or piano chair.
Yeah.
And I'll keep that forever and I will love it. But I also have a 17-year-old IKEA table that every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, God, this thing.
You know what? Everybody's got that table and it works, man. You can't kill it.
Get rid of it. You can't kill it. My kids, I don't care if they've got markers on it. It looks, I'm like, at one point, I'm like, home renovation and like design and all that. It can feel overwhelming because you're like, you got to live in it. And that's my thing. I am absolutely that person that puts plastic on their furniture because we all know I have a really beautiful rug that nobody sees because I have it covered in $19 rugs from Home Goods because I don't want my kids to ruin it. And I don't know what that means, but that's who I am.
Yeah.
I literally say, don't sit on that chair. It's my nice one.
Yeah.
Why?
To anyone,
why would I have a chair?
Anyone who comes in, she's
I'm like, don't sit on the yellow chair.
Can you not sit there? Things that can catch your
Yeah, can you
that
have
leather
too many
maybe,
bangles on,
but-
Jen. You're
yeah.
going to catch it on my yellow chair. I don't know why I do that to myself.
Can you set your purse?
Meanwhile,
someplace?
outside, I'm like, I want everything to be fun.
It's just that one chair. You
I
should
know.
just like put it in a
I
bubble.
know. I just got to put plastic on it and just pull the trigger and be that person. So then everybody goes, and they sit in it. And it's like, hey, man, that was my mom. She was like, don't sit in the burgundy couch. It's like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
I
Well,
have a popsicle. Why?
Oh my God, I can't, don't even get me started on the popsicle thing, but I think
Did
you
you hear
have
that?
to, I think you have to like some part of home renovation. Like if you have a husband who's like, I want to get in there and do some of that, or if you like the like design process or like the surprise of seeing it come together, it makes it a little bit easier.
I like bite-sized pieces, and we do not have that luxury. So that's the part that's hard, is that this is a Domino's thing, and like you go forward, it's going to be almost like 3/4 of the house.
Yeah.
I'm going to get there eventually, and I will love it when it's done, because little things, when they're improved, make all the difference. That's why, like, I believe paint is like a godsend. You can buy paint for cheap. It changes the way you look at a room. It changes your mood. It makes it more cozy. But this is like literally down to studs, and it's going to change the interior of a house to the point where I don't know if I can. It's going to be like an 8-month renovation. I'm not there yet. We just got out of quarantine. I need a minute.
So the rules of renovation are multiply by 2, add 3 months.
Add 3 months and $1 million. If they're like, you're going to redo your bathroom, it's just a like water closet, $1 million.
Every time I see those trucks drive around that say $5,000 bathroom makeover, I'm like,
we did it.
Lying.
We did it.
You're what?
Way. We did it for $5,000 was our budget, and we just made it. But let me tell you something. When you have such a small budget, you got to do so much yourself, which includes going to find like a pedestal sink that you found at a discount, and we went back 6 times because every time we got it, it was broken. They were the porcelain.
They break all the time. Yeah.
So we were like, good God, but we saved so much because we went out and found everything was from Lowe's and Home Depot at it like on the cheap, because we were literally like, we had just enough. We didn't replace the tub. That's a big thing. Like, there are a lot of ways you can cut corners, but you're not going to have that like luxury bathroom you thought you were going to have, and you got to be okay with that.
I have to tell you something that's going to make you crazy.
What?
I have an extra pedestal sink because they also cracked the front of that when they redid the bathroom, and so I had ordered it online.
We need to do a podcast about hoarding.
But here's the thing that sucks: when we did this bathroom, it was too wide. So I just have this new sink that I can't use because they were like, it cracked, and I was like, well, I have to have a sink for the bathroom, so I'm gonna like call the company and see what they can do. It's still usable.
They sent you a new one?
They sent me a new one,
nice.
and I said, so you're gonna come pick this one up? They're like, no, it's cost prohibitive to do that.
For them to come and get it, and then you've got this thing. But it is just, again, it's just a lot of work. Everything is work.
And then it's never felt like the right time for me to like take a day, pay a plumber to take out this other sink.
And replace it with the other one. Oh my God.
I have so many sinks. We can like totally redo your house with the stuff I have made.
I know. I was
going to
say, we literally can Jen design it, and it will be fine. And guess what? I'll be happy.
All right, so we have a mom box.
Mom boxes are cool.
And this one is very near and dear to my heart because I did a post about how my daughter she has one eye that has weaker muscle. And so she has special glasses that are supposed to help correct that. I know I should know what it's called. If I were a good mother, I would tell you what it's like a stromboli. She's got a stromboli.
A stromboli. I think it's like a wandering eye.
It's a hibiscus eye.
It's a hibiscus eye.
Yeah. So she had to get glasses, and she's scared that they'll make her not look how she wants to look. And
they're also like, can you explain again how they work? Because I think that to me sounds like when she's wearing them, there's probably like muscle ache or just fatigue from that. It's literal like building muscle in your eyeball.
So what they used to do is, which this is the new way of doing it, is actually a kinder, less fatiguing way to do it. So if your like right eye was wandering, had weaker muscle, they would put a patch over your left eye so that the right eye was like just working out all the time. Like you had to really work to focus it. Yeah. Really strengthen those muscles. So what they do now is they put a lens in a pair of glasses. You can't tell a difference by looking at them, but basically it has like a line of clear vision, a blurry line,
Wow.
a line of clear vision, a blurry line. So that eye has to work. The muscles have to move to focus to look through the line that's not blurry. So
it's amazing.
And she has to wear them for a year. And if that doesn't work, then she's going to wear a patch. So it was a big deal in our house. And I mean, she could not look cuter in glasses.
I know.
It's so hard for me to discipline her because I'm like,
they're so
"You're just
stinking
so
cute.
I can't handle it." But a mom sent me a book because
How nice is that? Like a mom saw the post and was like, you know what?
That's what moms do. I can't tell you all the time.
They take care of each other.
They like we get a message. My kid has the same thing.
Yep.
Like.
And really good advice. Again, oh my God, how many times are we going to talk about my bangs? So many people sent so many nice things about how to do my bangs, and I listened to all of them. There was one that I was literally, she gave me like a step-by-step tutorial, and I did it, and it worked.
Do I see what happened there? I was trying to tell this emotional story about my
God.
daughter. Kristen's
Sorry.
bangs worked their way.
There's nothing
right
more
in
emotional
there.
than bangs, BT dubs. But go ahead. Sorry, back to your daughter's eye.
So anyway, my daughter's health thing.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Medical diagnoses. Just kidding. It's fine. She's totally fine. Like, okay, so Jenny Sue Kostecki Shaw wrote a book called My Traveling Eye that's about a little girl who decorates her eye patches. She's a little fashionista.
How cute.
And then she finally graduates to glasses, and she decorates her glasses too. And so I had a lovely read with my daughter about this, and we bonded over this book, and she felt really special that one of our moms sent her a present. Like, she was over the moon.
Thank
you, Jenny.
It's so nice. And we could even put that on our podcast Instagram and like show the book so that she gets some love. But, over the years, so many of you have sent us nice things and funny things. I'll never forget when we did the story about the yellow bowl, about when I didn't take it. I kept it. It was given to me and I kept it. The yellow bowl at Jen's house. She had a yellow bowl. Jen has 1,000 bowls. I have 2. I had a bowl that I fell in love with. And I didn't want to give back to her. So when they came over, I would hide it. And I don't think that's stealing. It's just me not reminding her that it was at my house.
Golf clubs and I don't. And so I wouldn't take her golf clubs
How
if
dare
she
you
left
if you
them
ever
at my
did.
house.
I would ruin you. It would be like if I had 18 different pairs of golf clubs. The point is, I have one set of golf clubs. And you have 5,000 bowls. You have 5,000 bowls. And you just kept remembering this one bowl, which I was so annoyed. I was like, why can't she forget about it? So then, and it looked lovely on my counter. Then she came over, saw the bowl. Cat was out of the bag. We did a video about it. And a mom sent me that exact yellow bowl. And I was like, the world has a good sense of humor. Like, this is the coolest. Like, just to see a joke through, to send a bowl that I wanted was like
amazing.
Magical.
Amazing.
I opened it. I was like, you've got to be shitting me.
Moms are awesome.
Moms are awesome.
Yeah.
I also would like to say if Chanel's listening.
There's got to be a mom at Chanel. I mean, Coco wasn't just made in a lab.
I want a mom that's not sending us her Chanel. I want like the company Chanel that gives away stuff to people to send us one.
If some mom wants to send me your Chanel, I'll take it.
No, I don't want her to do that. That's too expensive. I want the company to come out of pocket, not a mom.
Well, why would you steal my bowl but not a bag from some mom that wants to give it to? That doesn't
if you had 100 Chanel bags, I might take one, and we know that's true.
If you have 100 bags, you can live without.
We
two
know
of them, okay?
that's true. And every time we go out, I'd be like, damn it, I can't take the Chanel. That's exactly what I would do. It's not stealing.
I know I was supposed to watch the purses while you guys were dancing, but somebody came up and they just took the one. I don't know. I just looked away for a second.
Lady, she said she's your friend and she just keeps stealing stuff. I'm like, I got a thing. Sorry, you have a lot of stuff. I also have all of these serving trays and I'm like, they're Jen's. They're so cool. I just don't want to give them back.
Do you need a pedestal sink?
I need a pedestal sink and a farmhouse sink. Okay. And I've got my car here and I'm just going to load up a couple things before I go. I'll find a place for them. I'll appreciate them.
All right, we podcasted.
Bye. Bye.